The following message is transmitted at the request of the Wyoming National Guard. An apparent meteor impact has occurred in the Thunder Basin of northeastern Wyoming. The National Guard is asking all residents of Campbell County to remain at home for the rest of tonight. All roads south of Interstate 90 in Campbell County are closed until the situation is assessed. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Wyoming National Guard. An apparent meteor impact has occurred in the Thunder Basin of northeastern Wyoming. The National Guard is asking all residents of Campbell County to remain at home for the rest of tonight. All roads south of Interstate 90 in Campbell County are closed until the situation is assessed.
The emergency alert system has been activated. Please tune to Channel 4 for further details.
This is the National Weather Service in Fairbanks, Alaska with a tsunami warning bulletin. A tsunami warning has been issued for the North Slope and Northwest Arctic boroughs of Alaska due to a meteor impact in the Arctic Ocean. Waves of several hundred feet in height are expected to impact the Arctic coast within the next hour. All persons living in or near the communities of Barrow, Deadhorse, Kaktovik, Kivalina, Kotzebue, Point Lay, and Wainwright are advised to evacuate and land by any means possible. Once again, a tsunami warning is now in effect for the North Slope and Northwest Arctic boroughs of Alaska.
We interrupt regular programming for an urgent message from the Wyoming State Police and the Department of Homeland Security. Residents of Northeast Wyoming, return to your homes immediately. A mysterious and potentially dangerous event has occurred in the town of Faith, Wyoming. State police have reported that the entire population of Faith has gone missing. Authorities are at a loss to explain how such an event could have occurred, but nonetheless, it has been confirmed that the entire population has disappeared without a trace. The most reasonable explanation for this is that a mass abduction may have occurred, and it is believed that the person or entity responsible for this is still at large. All persons receiving this broadcast are advised to move indoors immediately and, if possible, shelter in place. Stay tuned to this or other media outlets for the latest on this unusual situation.
The civil authorities have issued a civil danger warning for District of Columbia, D.C., all of Delaware, all of Maryland, all of New Jersey, all of Pennsylvania, all of Virginia, and all of West Virginia, beginning at 6:27 p.m. and ending at 9:27 p.m. WETA. Meteorite impact expected in Washington, D.C. and much of the Mid-Atlantic. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration has made the discovery of 3 new meteorites, all roughly 2 miles in diameter, heading towards the planet. Direct strikes are expected in the following locations: Beijing, China, Moscow, Russia, and Washington, D.C., USA. Scientists are still unable to determine if this is a natural event or if it could possibly be related to the recent impacts in Wyoming, the Arctic Ocean, and France. Regardless, all persons within a 150-mile radius of the District of Columbia are advised to take immediate action, as impact is expected in the next 2 hours. Residents of the Washington metropolitan area are advised to evacuate now. Because of the urgency of this situation, please only gather essential items for evacuation, such as personal identification and a mobile device. Do not attempt to gather other belongings, as there may be no time to do so. Residents outside of the Washington metropolitan area are advised to remain indoors and prepare to seek a safe shelter, as impacts will occur over a very large area. For evacuation information, seek assistance from National Guardsmen in the area, or tune a battery-powered radio to 770 AM. Those outside of the evacuation zone are advised to tune to stations serving your local area. Please do not call 911 unless you have an immediate life-threatening emergency. If you do not have an emergency, it is asked that you do not use the telephone. The United States government has stated that they are currently developing a plan to try and combat this threat, and they will transmit further information about this as it becomes available. Please monitor local media outlets for more information. The civil authorities have issued a civil danger warning for District of Columbia, D.C., all of Delaware, all of Maryland, all of New Jersey, all of Pennsylvania, all of Virginia, and all of West Virginia, beginning at 7:15 p.m. and ending at 10:15 p.m. WETA. The following is an update statement transmitted at the request of North American Aerospace Defense Command. It has been determined that the best course of action is to launch nuclear arms at the approaching meteors. Depending on their proximity to Earth's surface at the time of impact, radioactive fallout and debris will likely pose as a threat to the east coast of the United States. All residents located within a 200-mile radius of the District of Columbia are now advised to shelter in place. To shelter in place, move indoors, close and lock all windows and doors, turn off all heating or air conditioning units, and seal off any other openings to the outside world. Make sure you have an adequate supply of food and water, as this emergency may last for several days. Tune the battery-powered radio to 770 AM for news and information during this emergency.
This is an emergency action notification requested by the White House. All EAS participants will follow activation procedures in the EAS Operations Handbook for a national level emergency. The President of the United States or his representative will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system.
This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air to provide news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is KERA. We will continue to serve the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use.
We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is KERA. This station will continue furnishing news, official information, and instructions for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you are not in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is KERA. This station will continue for
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. This is a global emergency. North American Aerospace Defense Command has confirmed that a massive asteroid field is set to impact the planet in the next 5 minutes. We can now confirm that the events since yesterday are unnatural in nature. The planet is under attack. All major cities will be impacted. Seek immediate shelter. Seek immediate shelter. There is no time to evacuate. All persons receiving this broadcast are in immediate danger.